Hello, and welcome to Pleasantview. My name is Sissy, and today we're going behind the scenes in my Pleasantview save file that I'll be sharing here on YouTube. We're here in the Broke household with Brandi and her two sons. First, we're going to take a tour of the house, which isn't that big, but looks different than you're used to in the base game. I'll also note a few key mod items I've added for my gameplay style. Then, we'll take a look at the Sims with their makeovers using my default replacements and custom content, as well as their traits, turn-ons, lifetime wants, and such. Let's get to it. First things first, the outside of the trailer looks unremarkable, to say the least. But if we go into the backyard, the pool has been filled in. Having a pool without a ladder doesn't make much sense, but I feel like it's iconic for Brandi and her boys. Although, with Dustin as a nature sim, maybe this is his little garden and his way of coping with the very recent death of his father. If you're one of the people who's never played Pleasantview or doesn't know much about the pre-mades, Brandi Broke is of course pregnant when you first load the neighborhood. She's only been pregnant for a few hours, which means Skip has only been dead for a few hours. So the death of his father is very recent in Dustin's memory. I got this save file from Mod The Sims, and all the lots have been renovated using items from all of the expansion packs, but remains completely CC free. Let's take a look inside. So when you first come inside, there's bookshelves, there's a little computer, and a TV area. Things don't matchy-matchy, but that also makes sense considering they're living in a trailer. If we keep going, you'll notice that there's a calendar, which is to trigger the holiday mods. There's a seating area with our growing family. And there's a small kitchen, but big enough for Brandi to cook in. And of course, the pizza that the game comes with. Looking out the window, you can see the place where Skip died has been completely filled in. Moving on from the living area is the hallway, but the hallway is currently doubling as Beau's room. It's got all the toddler necessities. And you'll see 3 doors here. The first door here leads to a small bathroom with only a shower. Not ideal for having a toddler, but there's really not much space to put a tub. In this room, there's 2 beds and a laundry basket, so that laundry generates on the lot for use with my laundry mod. I like the fact that they put 2 beds in here, even though Dustin's the only one who needs it, because Beau's gonna grow up pretty soon, and we're gonna need that crib for another little one. I think the room looks really nice and makes a lot of sense. Kind of mismatch, but also fun. And of course, this last bedroom is Brandi's bedroom, or Brandi and Skip's. Very pink, very flowery, very girly, and in my opinion, very Brandi. I also, of course, added a mail shelf for bills and a trigger for my electricity mod. One thing I haven't been noting in all the videos is that I have also placed fire hydrants on all the lots so that cars will spawn driving by. Now, in a lot of lots, I have to make this invisible, which is one of the reasons I've been forgetting to mention it, and I usually place it by the mailbox, trash can, or under a tree. But in the houses with foundations, I usually try to just put it in the foundation so that I don't have to turn it invisible. Here's the first look at our Sims with their makeovers. I'm gonna have everybody show you their outfits, starting with Brandi. Brandi has always been my all-time favorite Sim. She is my favorite Sim from the base game. She's my favorite Sim after all of the expansion packs. I love her. I love playing her. I do like playing a lot of the single females, but I also love playing pregnant Sims, and I think that's why I love Brandi. Now let's take a look at Dustin's makeover. I tried to keep the vibe of angsty teen who's also a nature sim, who also doesn't have a lot of money. Like, I love the idea of Brandi finding some 3-piece suit at Goodwill or some other thrift shop and buying it for Dustin for his formal wear. So with toddlers, the gussy up of check outfits doesn't work great. So I'm just going to show you one at a time the 3 outfits that you can pick with the gussy up mod. Let's take a look at their traits, starting with Brandi. So of course, Brandi's favorite color is pink. She likes pop music. She's young at heart. She's easily impressed. She's a party animal. She's a natural cook. She's a photographer's eye. I think these make Brandi an extremely interesting sim. It shows that she's a lot of fun, she's a family sim, and she's got an interest in photography apparently. Brandi also has a job stoppinator because Brandi is the domestic sciences teacher at our local school. She teaches that class on Thursdays. This gives her some kind of an income, but not great. She's still going to struggle a lot, and she's also not going to roll the want to get a job. So we'll see if this is a good thing or not for her. And of course, in Brandi's inventory, she also has the Watcher Book of Faith. Her lifetime want is to sew 200 items on a sewing machine. I think that's cute for her because it shows that she wants to be able to provide for her family. She maybe makes all of their clothes because they don't have a lot of money. It's a fun way to do something different with the lifetime wants. Now Brandi is 22 days away from becoming an elder, so she's not quite old enough to have a secondary aspiration, but she's close. So when I gave Brandi her lifetime aspiration benefits, I actually saved a point so that we could give her secondary aspiration in about 2 days when she's eligible. In the meantime, I gave her 3 out of the needs because having multiple children, being pregnant, the needs tree is very important. I didn't give her anything from the work tree since she's not work oriented, and I did give her the entire family tree. Now, I will say I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this. I gave her the first 3, and then I was debating giving her the last perk on the needs tree or the last perk on the family tree. And honestly, Brandi's never had twins in my game before. So I've played 3 versions of Pleasantview. I played the first neighborhood I ever had. I played a real neighborhood after I got the hang of the game. And then I had an Uberhood, which included Pleasantview. So Brandi had a boy twice, the first one obviously being the Brandi clone. And then she had a girl in my Uberhood. But she's never had twins. And even when she's had more children, after her first 3 from Skip, she's also never had twins. So if she has twins, it'll be an insane challenge, but it'll also be something different for me to experience, which is what I want in this same file. So I went ahead and did it, and I hope I don't regret it. But I might. And finally, let's take a look at Brandi's turn-ons and turn-offs. Her turn-ons are plant lover, blonde hair, and her turn-off is black hair. I think this makes sense for her. She was attracted to Skip, who had blonde hair. She's not a nature sim, but her son is. She has a garden in the backyard. She likes pink and flowers. I just think it's perfect for her. Now let's take a look at Dustin. His lifetime want is to become an ecological guru. I gave this to Dustin for 2 reasons. One, he's a nature sim, so when it came up as an option for his personally available lifetime wants, I said, that could be interesting. And second, because it's one of the college careers. Now I do have a mod in my game so that you don't have to go to college to get one of those 4 university careers. However, I like the idea of Dustin as a fortune sim, not having a lot of money, needing to stay behind to take care of maybe his younger siblings, but still wanting to go to college and wanting to be successful. So giving him one of the university careers, I thought was really cool. Let him want to go to college. Let him want to be an ecological guru. Why not? And if we look in Dustin's inventory, his favorite color is green. His favorite music is surf. He's an animal lover, an underdog, loves the outdoors, and is easily impressed. Now he gets this easily impressed trait from his mother. He also has a high interest in animals, and of course he's a nature sim. I think that these suit him really well. I also love the idea of him being an underdog. I wanted to give a wide variety of traits to my sims, and I think of all the sims in Pleasantview, Dustin being the underdog made the most sense. He of course also has the Watcher Book of Faith. If we take a look at Dustin's aspiration benefits, I gave him the first in the fortune tree because I think that that is one of the most useful aspiration benefits for all Sims. And because he has a career-oriented lifetime want, I started him on the work tree. He also has a teenage career, and so if he can do well in that teenage career, he can become an overachiever, which is going to be a good aspiration boost, but also net him a scholarship for college, which he's desperately going to need. So giving him that work one, even as a teenager, I think will be very useful for him. And finally, let's take a look at Dustin's turn-ons and turn-off. His turn-ons are animal lover and outgoing, and his turn-off is cultured. I think the outgoing turn-on explains why he's attracted to Angela Pleasant. She's very outgoing as a popularity sim. And of course he loves animals, so why wouldn't he want to be with another animal lover? And finally, let's take a look at little Beau. He of course doesn't have a lifetime want yet, or turn-ons and turn-offs, or an aspiration tree benefits, but he does have traits. So Beau is a virtuoso, hydrophobic, he likes jam bands, and the color turquoise. Now, I gave him hydrophobic because of the way his dad died, and since his dad drowned while Beau was so young, I thought it would have a lasting impact on him. So I'm a bit interested to see how that impacts him the rest of his life. I of course also gave him the Watcher Book of Faith because I expect that Brandi will raise him religiously. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed getting to know the Broke family. We'll be back here with them to play their first day in Pleasantview very soon. Be sure to subscribe to see what life throws their way. Until we meet again, take care.